You mentioned before we were actually going to talk about diabetes in its relation to Candida.
Yeah, diabetes is near and dear to me. It's in my family. It killed my grandmother. It's supposed to skip generations, Paul, so my father always said, you're going to have to watch out. It didn't skip it. He was diagnosed. He's on insulin now. I was diagnosed 3 years ago, pre-diabetic, glucose intolerant, they called it. My doctor wanted to start checking my sugars. I did some research and found out stimulants are really bad for diabetics because it accelerates the process in which the insulin gets carried through the cells.
Like what, caffeine?
Caffeine,
Sudafed.
For drug addicts, people that are on illegal drugs like cocaine, I guarantee they're all going to come up diabetic. No doubt about it, okay? This was something I was supposed to be watching every 6 months. Well, I'm not the best when it comes to going to a doctor because I tend to like to do my own research. I missed a couple of years, and I went to call my doctor 6 months ago to make an appointment, and they told me my doctor had passed away, which was a shock, first of all. The guy who's in charge of my health care and general well-being isn't supposed to just up and die on me. True story. He died of cancer in his 50s. Didn't even know he was sick, okay? So I got a new doctor. The first thing my new doctor asked me was, what medications are you on? I'm like, you got my chart?
First question.
I'm not on medications, but that was his first question. So he interviewed me, checked me out, we did the whole physical exam. He never even mentioned it, so I brought it up. I said, what about my sugars? We were supposed to be monitoring this twice a year, and now it's been 2 years. I was pre-diabetic or glucose intolerant, 2 years ago. And he looked at my lab results and said, you're fine. The only thing I can attribute that to is I've knocked down to 1 cup of coffee a day instead of 2 or 3, and I started this Candida clear 2 months ago. And he says, my numbers are perfectly normal. Now, I know diabetes, it's going to come out that diabetes is a 100% curable disease. There's a place called Prinicate Healthcare down in Maryland that 90% of insulin-shooting diabetics go into this place, and they're wealthy people. It's very expensive. It's not for the common man.
I've heard of that place. I've heard of it.
They go in there, and they come out never needing a needle again.
So let me ask you this. Why is it people can go to a place such as Prinicate and get the answers they're looking for, but last year alone, 1.3 million people in America were diagnosed with diabetes. Diabetes is an epidemic. We can't get a hold of it. And it's sickening because now you look at all these pet catalogs or pet commercials, cats and dogs now have diabetes.
It's a human disease, firstly. And what it's going to come down to, it will come out, I promise you, that diabetes is nothing more than a fungal infection because your immune system has been compromised by the Candida, okay? The problem is you can't test for a fungal infection easily. They have to biopsy organs, which means it's very invasive,
right?
All right, to detect a fungal infection. But people are going to find out that Lamisil, instead of worrying about it treating your yellow toenail fungus, that maybe that's a good drug for diabetics. Okay, maybe I'll give you that one, Lamisil. You guys do the research, start testing your drugs on diabetics. In the meantime, clear the Candida. Clear the Candida, clear the Candida. My yellow toenails disappeared in a week. The thrush off of my tongue was gone in 2 weeks. And I'm not even close to being diabetic anymore.
All from, you believe, the Candida, eradicating the yeast.
The only 2 things I changed is I knocked down to 1 cup of coffee, and I started doing the Candida clear a month ago.
You didn't change your diet, you didn't change your nutritional intake, you kept your lifestyle changed. The only thing you did was eradicate the Candida.
And when you do it, man, your head, boom, you clear up. You will wake up and just be...
I didn't believe that because before we did the show, I've done my other health programs. People have seen me on television for several years now, and I have a hard time waking up. I'm the kind of person who needs that 2 or 3 cups of coffee. I need an hour, leave me alone, and then I wake up. I did this Candida. 3 days later, when I wake up now, 3 days later and now, when I wake up, I'm up.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I am not sleepy, I'm not groggy, I'm not irritable, I'm not agitated.
But you're thinking clearly?
I don't even realize I don't even go for the coffee anymore. I go right to my activity. So absolutely.
Yeah.
Folks, if you're watching right now, maybe you did the water test that we just demonstrated. 80% of you have a Candida yeast problem. If you suffer from unwanted pain, excess weight gain, maybe you have fatigue, maybe you have depression, anxiety, sinus infections that just won't go away, maybe you have diabetes. Folks, we're quoting some pretty incredible research that relates Candida yeast as the root cause of all disease. We've developed a probiotic eradication system. For less than the cost of a cup of coffee per day, you can eradicate Candida yeast from your body with our program. Our program is designed to get rid of the Candida yeast at the root cause. Uses a state-of-the-art gastric bypass capsule that works its way into the intestine and kills Candida where it lies. With any order, we're going to include an audio CD done by Mark and myself called Candida, the root cause of disease. This is full of information that we can't share with you on television. This is going to show you reasons why you don't feel great every day. If you wake up and you feel sluggish, if you have low energy, if you're suffering from a chronic disease or pain, Candida yeast needs to be eradicated. This product is designed to get rid of Candida at the root cause. Like we've mentioned, 80% of you watching right now have a yeast overgrowth. So make the right decision. Order this program, get the free CD. If you just want the CD on its own, it's $19.95, or it's absolutely free with any order. It comes with a 90-day money-back guarantee. That's how confident we are that you'll experience nothing but positive results with this program. We only have seconds left. Is there anything else you'd like to say?
Paul, I just want to mention that my main source for research is my friend and Harvard alumnus, Joe Birch. He's writing a book on how autoimmune disease directly correlates to every single one of over 500 diseases known to man. Readers will be able to pick their disease, see how autoimmune disease relates to it, and take the necessary steps towards a cure. I would like you to have him on your show when he completes the book.
I promise you we will have him on the show.
Great.
Mark, I want to thank you for being here today. Probably one of the most fascinating shows that we've ever had. I certainly want you on again.
Thanks, Paul.
Folks, thanks for watching. I'm Paul Santisi, and this has been another edition of Direct Impact.